Last night we made it to the new home here in Washington. That drive from Utah is just miserable. Thought I'd do some old school cell phone vlogging in the basement as we start to pack things up for the move. We've got boxes everywhere. Got the Penske rental outside. These are all empty boxes, but we're just working on emptying everything out. You know, emptying like all the shelves. What's this? Meow. Emptying all that. And then in our business room in here, we can get rid of some of the stuff now, but some of it we have to keep because we have a big shirt order coming in tomorrow, and so we have to be able to steam them all and hang them all up. I'm in one of the spare bedrooms that we have in the basement, just boxing some more stuff up. We've got most of the Penske rental truck filled. There's just a little bit in the back. You can see the truck through there. Right up there. We got most of it filled. Oh, hi, sis. I didn't know you were in here. Want to say hi, sis? Yeah. She's purring. But we're just kind of getting all these extra blankets and stuff packed away. But the basement is actually mostly empty now. So we've made some good progress with getting everything out of the house. We're moving in 2 weeks so we're not taking everything out. Most of the stuff upstairs is staying that we actually need, but like all these rooms we were able to empty out because we won't need it for the next 2 weeks. And if you hear crying, that's because my nieces are here and they're mad that they have to go home. Really should have been doing all this on my camera, but we just got the truck filled all the way. So my dad's friend Neil is going to take that tomorrow morning, like 5 or 6 a.m., drive it up to his place in Washington, kind of near where we're looking at places. And then my dad is going to fill up his truck after doing a dump run in the morning, and then my dad starts work this weekend, so they'll both be up there in Washington. And then we have 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow is when I have my time off to help start loading everything, and then we'll be moving that Friday. So still got 2 weeks, but we did fill up a whole truck. We have that much stuff in this house. And now we just gotta finish boxing up the rest and getting things ready, sell a few things, so that the move will be easy. It's been kind of cool to watch. There's a lightning storm out that way, and it's a little windy now. Every now and then you see really bright flashes that way. We'll see what happens out there. And I bought some beer at the liquor store today. I don't drink beer. I don't know how I feel about this. It's an IPA, a little too bitter for me. You know, I like stuff like whiskey. This is just not a fan.
You know what to do. Where do we go from here? Don't let it rule you. Everything's gonna be alright.
Okay, here's the deal. So in my last video where I announced that we're moving back to Washington, I didn't really talk about, what moving back looks like for us. I just kind of was like, hey, we're going to be moving back in about 2 weeks. And so this video is going to be a mess. I don't know what other way to put it. It's going to be a hot mess. Complete garbage. But I wanted to kind of show what the moving process actually looks like for us and what we've been doing to prepare. And when I moved here to Utah, I wanted to make the same type of video where I kind of showed us actually moving, and that didn't really happen. I had a few clips and I did a video afterward, but it was more cinematic with just a few shots. I didn't really show the actual details of moving. So that's the plan for this video. So last night we got the Penske truck that my dad rented completely filled. You can't fit another thing in that truck. Completely filled. And it was a pretty long one. I don't know the exact size, but you can see like the footage of it. It was a big truck. And so my dad's friend drove that this morning. He took off at about 5 a.m. to head up to Washington, taking it slow. That's about an 12 hour drive from here. A little bit longer when you're driving that slow and stopping. So he took that at 5, and then my dad had to do a dump run, throw some things away that we had laying around, because he's taking the truck up because he starts work this weekend. So he took stuff to the dump and then came back, and then I helped him load some stuff into the back of his Dodge and strap it down, and then he left about 8, just after 8 this morning. So he should catch up to his friend pretty soon, probably somewhere in Idaho or Oregon, since he'll be driving a lot faster because he's not driving slow to make sure things aren't flying around. So that's what happened right now. And then my parents put an offer on a house because they were considering buying one now. Originally we were just going to rent for a few months, and they were going to build, but now they were just going to buy one and then still look at trying to build. So they had an offer in, and then we'll see what happens this week if we get that house or not, or if we do have to go with the original idea and look at some rentals, because my dad will be up there working now, so he'll actually be able to go look at houses and stuff. And as of tomorrow, we have exactly 2 weeks until we are leaving. So we've got a little time to get everything ready here. We've been taking stuff down. My room's very empty now because most of it has been taken.
Everything is gonna be
Okay, here's the deal. So I kind of mentioned on an earlier clip, because this should all be the same video, that my parents were looking at putting an offer and buying a house, in addition to looking for rentals. And so they did put an offer on a house that would have worked perfect for us, but unfortunately the buyers weren't interested. They didn't like our offer, which we completely disagree with because it was a very fair offer. But we're now back in the search of trying to find a place to live, or we're going to be homeless in 2 weeks. So there's a lot of stress, a lot of tension, because we just don't know what we're going to do. It's exciting that we're going back to Washington, but we just don't know what's going to happen, where we're going to go. Are we going to have to live under a bridge like everyone else? We really don't have anywhere to go, so you got to figure that out as soon as possible, because as of today, we have exactly 2 weeks. Wednesday, October 12th. I took the day off from work. It's like 11 p.m. We've just been busy getting stuff out into the garage for the move, packing all kinds of stuff out today. Some of this has been being put out here all week, and this is our second trip. We already took a whole truck of stuff to Washington. This is just a bunch of stuff that was still in the house. We're getting another truck tomorrow and have to get everything loaded, and then we are leaving on Friday, so in less than 48 hours we'll be out of here. Things are definitely looking empty. This is where my desk was. You can see my mat, where my mat is, where my chair would go on. And then over here we usually had a couch and like a sitting area. And of course I had decorations all over the walls. And then my bed was always here. And then I had like a nightstand. And then this is where like all my records were. And my books. Loading the truck is in progress. Been doing it for a few hours now. We've got it, I don't know, like half full, maybe. Just about emptied everything that was in the garage. Just a few things left, like some beds. And there's still some stuff in the house, but we're getting there. Alright, I'm here in what used to be my bedroom. It's all cleaned out and vacuumed, and there's nothing left up here. It's Friday. We've been working all day to make sure that we can get out of here, because the plan was to leave this morning. But it's currently like 6 p.m. We're still working on getting everything in, and we're not going to fit it all. We're going to have to leave stuff behind. We started giving away furniture for free. It wasn't going to fit, and so there's still some stuff that we're going to have to leave here and come back for, or find somebody to store it with temporarily and come back. But we're not going to fit it all. So we've been dealing with that stress. I went to the dump with Neil, and we took a bunch of garbage to the landfill, and we're just trying real hard to get out of here. We'll be leaving real soon and heading up to Washington. We're probably going to stop somewhere at a hotel or something halfway to at least rest, but we're going to be in Washington tomorrow. Still trying to keep schedule, but it's been hectic We did finally, I know I mentioned before that we found a house that would work, but we did get that house. We signed the lease agreements yesterday and put the down payment on it. Like the initial fees, the pet fees, the last month's rent, all that kind of stuff you put on a rental. So all that is taken care of. No more fear of being homeless. It's just trying to get everything there. Moving to a different state, it's so stressful and there's so much that's going on and it's just crazy. So today, other than doing all that, I went and canceled our UPS box for El Manor Ave. Had to go get that canceled and turn the key in before we left. Also had to, submit the change of address form for USPS for the business. My mom already did it for our personal. It'll be fine. I'm feeling so stressed, but I know that we're almost there. Just a few more days, and everything will be much better. But I'll kind of film some shots of the house all empty. It's not completely empty yet, but I'll film kind of what everything looks like. Alright, Justin and I are heading out. Neil's heading out in the big yellow truck. I'm driving my car. And yeah. Hello everyone. So we started driving to Washington around 7:30 or so, 8 o'clock last night. Justin and I took off, and then Neil took off in the truck, and then my parents didn't leave for a few more hours. But we made it to Boise. That's where we're currently staying at a hotel here at the Best Western at the Boise airport. What's it called? The Best Western Vista Inn at the airport. We tried stopping at another Best Western. It was around midnight and they were full. No vacancies at all. So went down the road a few exits to the airport where there's a ton of hotels, and luckily there were some vacancies. So we got a room here. It's nothing too fancy. It's just a older Best Western. 2 queen room with a bathroom there. It's kind of an interesting hotel. You've got like an interior that your windows face. And I've stayed at a hotel kind of like that before, so it's not like it's totally new to me that that exists. But definitely interesting. And it's a pretty big place. But just stopped here for the night. It was decent, got about 6 hours of sleep or so, which should be enough to get me through driving to Washington. I knew I wouldn't be able to drive all the way through last night when it was already midnight, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna fall asleep if I keep driving, so decided to get a hotel real quick. It's 8:12 in the morning, and we'll hopefully be leaving pretty shortly. Checkout time is noon, but I want to be out of here around 9 o'clock if possible. Made a quick stop at a rest area here in Oregon, in Weatherby, near Baker City. Just make sure we stretch enough. We were kind of cramping up yesterday, so I just want to make sure we stop, walk around, make this trip easier. Just passed into the Pacific time zone, and we're making good time on our journey to Washington. I will check in at our next stop. Stopped at another rest area in Oregon real quick. This one is near Baker City. We didn't need to stop yet, but we had to sign an inspection for our rental so that we can actually get the keys today. Right by the freeway, as you can see. This one's got some nice trees with some fall colors, some leaves on the ground. But skies are super smoky this way. I know there's a ton of fires burning, and because of all this high pressure and stuff, there just hasn't been rain at all. Even in Utah, we just haven't been getting weather that we're supposed to for fall. So there's definitely still fires going, and you can tell there's a lot of smoke around. But gonna keep going. My parents are only like 40 or 50 miles ahead of us. Don't know that we'll catch them anytime soon, but we'll see. Last night we made it to the new home here in Washington. That drive from Utah is just miserable. I mean, it's cool. There's some cool scenery at times, but it's just so miserable driving that long. Even though we did split it into two and stopped in Boise for the night, it's just still a terrible drive. But we finally made it here around 6 p.m. last night. So, really late, but at least we got here while it was still daylight. My parents and Neil got here earlier than we did. We got stuck in Portland traffic, which is never good. We had to actually get off the freeway in Portland and try to find ways around just the roadblocks there. It was crazy. But made it through that and got here around 6 p.m. And we've spent the last few hours moving stuff into the house, into temporary positions. And we've been cleaning. It is a rental, so the people that lived here before definitely were not the cleanest people, I would say. So we've been mopping and vacuuming, and we'll be shampooing the carpets and clean the bathrooms and all that. I'm somebody who, I don't like germs, really. I don't like things that are out of place and messy, so definitely have to get it all clean before I'm willing to set things up. But that's what we've been working on, and today we'll finish unloading the Penske truck here. And then we have to go buy like some new mattresses and stuff, because we threw a lot of stuff away just to make the move from Utah easier, because we have a lot of stuff. Good morning. We've been in Washington now for 3 days, and I decided to go for a walk around the neighborhood, kind of check things out this morning. I go back to work in 2 days, so tomorrow's my last day off. So I thought, why not get out this morning, take some pictures of all the trees and the fog. There's a lot of fog out. And just kind of check out the new neighborhood a little bit more. And then when I get back to the house, got to finish cleaning one of the bedrooms so that we can start moving our boxes in to the garage. And then once that's done, we're going to start bringing in more boxes for my mom's closet. And just start putting like the living room together, because I hate living out of boxes. And like last night I put my whole bedroom together. So only been here 2 days, 3 days, and already got everything unpacked. So that's just how I am. Biggest thing I missed about living in Washington in the 4 years that I've been away is just all the trees, all the greenery, the fog, the moodiness. It's just so beautiful here. And not to say that Utah's not beautiful, but it is just stunning here.